most gym owners, most coaches that I talk to have the same problem. They're great at training clients or fulfillment, but their back end of the business is chaos. There's no CRM, there's no clear KPIs, SOPs, there's no overall system in place. And that was exactly the same case with Josh. He had the drive, he had amazing social proof, he had great clients, but he was running blind and leads slipping through the cracks all the time. And he had no way to track performance. It kind of felt impossible to scale without burning out. And so when he reached out, we installed the Ardent system and everything changed. So I gave him structure, automation, and a clear dashboard so he could finally see exactly what was happening in his business. So what you're about to hear and what you're about to see is me asking Josh his story in his own words. This isn't polished or this isn't some crazy pitch. It's just a real experience of what happens when you stop guessing and you start running your business like a pro. So let's dive in. So Josh, what was your situation before we started working together?
So before working with Ardent GSI systems, like my business, I wouldn't even consider it a business. It was honestly a mess behind the scenes. I didn't have proper systems, back end, anything, even like a calendar to book leads. Leads were slipping through the cracks, and it felt like everything was like reactive instead of structured. Oh, someone messaged me. Now I have to work. Right. I was wearing too many hats, and like I was constantly putting out fires with my own doing.
Understandable. So what was like the biggest bottlenecks or frustrations in your business?
The biggest frustration, honestly, was not having visibility. I didn't know my numbers. My follow up was inconsistent, and scaling felt impossible because like my back end wasn't built. I didn't have the systems. I knew we were leaving money on the table like pretty much every single month, which I'm seeing now.
So other than my handsome good looks, why did you decide to work with Ardent instead of, just doing what everybody else does, which is watching more YouTube or reading more books or doing it yourself and then obviously failing?
Well, I mean, I'd already tried to figure it out myself, and it cost me time and money. And with my full time job, it wasn't easy. With Adam, it wasn't really just advice. It was like done for you. He came in with a proven system that I could literally just plug into my business, create the sheets myself, and that made the decision an absolute no brainer.
Understandable. Adam sounds like a really smart guy. So what stood out about the way I kind of explained the program and the system for you?
Um, what stood out probably was just like how clear everything is once you have these systems and the clarity. Adam showed me exactly where the bottlenecks were, and more importantly, what the fix looked like. It wasn't fluffy coaching; like it was a real like business system, and I was just astonished at how deep in the process it got in.
And just so if anyone's skeptical watching this, and because I understand there's a lot of false advertising or marketing or promises on the internet, um, and people promise the world and never fulfill that.
Mhm.
When I tell someone, or if there's a gym owner or a coach watching this, and I'm like, let's just book a call, and it's a bottleneck call where we're just basically going to talk. Can you explain how basically we did that? And like, um, when I say we're getting on a call and I'm not going to pitch you, when we talked the first time, I literally didn't pitch you. We just basically explained what was everything you mentioned already, what your bottlenecks were, and how I could help.
No, yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, it just felt like we were shooting the shit. Like, I was kind of at a point with my full time job, and I had always thought about this training thing. I never considered it a business, and then we just kind of talked for a bit. You explained to me certain systems that you could offer, certain systems that you could implement in my quote unquote business structure that would help me create leads. And I mean, I'm looking at my profit and loss sheet right now, and it's steadily going up every month, right? It's not amazing because I am limited with time, but it's still way more than I ever thought I'd make even in a month, like with distance training stuff. And like having these back end systems makes it easier to follow up with leads, set up calls, be able to actually be the coach and be the on the other side by myself.
Yeah, so that's a perfect segue of like basically what's kind of changed since implementing like the systems, you know?
Um, I actually feel in control of my business, which I wouldn't even have considered a business 6 months ago. We have automations in place. I know my KPIs and myself. Like it's not guessing anymore. Everything is organized and predictable.
And so in terms of specific metrics and like you don't have to get like crazy specific. I don't want you to share like your routing number, but you know, what is the what is some concrete results that you've seen like in terms of metrics or improvement?
Within, I'd say within the first 4 weeks, I saw a 25% increase on monthly return in revenue already. Show up rate for consults doubled once we started tracking and doing correct follow up sequences with the Ardent systems, all that stuff. And like for the first time, I know exactly what's happening daily without like chasing people around or chasing this client, chasing this client. I have check-in set up. I have a schedule and a calendar locked into my client, so I can be the coach instead of having to worry about all this back end stuff.
Yeah. So how does it feel knowing that you actually have the systems in place, you know?
Uh, Honestly, it's a big relief. I feel more confident instead of stressed. Obviously, being a business owner is stressful 90% of the time, regardless. But I'm not second guessing everything, and I know we're building something sustainable instead of just patching the problems. I'm learning as I go, so I'm trying to, as well as implementing these systems, learning as much as I possibly can because I know that's going to increase my chances of increasing my monthly revenue and eventually hitting a 10K month, which I could only fathom of.
So what's kind of different than, the way you run your business now day to day versus when we started?
From when we started, I mean, I actually have backend systems. I'm day to day. I'm not chasing problems anymore. I can focus on the growth of the business instead of wondering if things are getting missed, right? Stuff like that. The systems run, and I can lead my clients and focus on their results, giving them the best positive coach.
Gotcha, dude. So I guess to put a bow on it, what would you say to anyone like gym owner, coach, anyone who's watching this right now that's like kind of on the fence of working with me? Because again, like I get it, and like my whole shtick is like I'm not like photoshopping screenshots or like renting a Lamborghini that I can't afford, or I don't like those, fake gurus because I've been burned before. And the reason I am in the position I'm in now with the knowledge that I have is literally because I've been screwed over and I invested in myself and then, took a little bits here and there. Like I probably spent like six figures easily on like education and whatnot and courses. So I guess if anyone's on the fence, which is understandable, but that's probably why I'm sending them this video of them watching before they get on a call with me, or if they're on the fence to get on a call with me, what would you kind of say?
Um, I'd probably say like don't waste your time thinking you can do it yourself and trying to reinvent the wheel, trying to create this new system that you swear you can create. If you want predictable revenue and a business that runs like an actual business and a franchise, Ardent GSI systems is pretty much the answer that I'm ecstatic that I took. Right? Adam will save you years of trial and error, and it's been a complete game changer for myself, honestly.
Awesome. I think that's a wrap. Okay, cool. I guess if you're still watching this and you're not sold, then YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video on the screen. So click my face or somewhere on the screen and bye.